Hey, welcome back to the Bourbon Retriever. We are doing the final episode of the best Four Roses single barrel. If you missed the first two ones, I'll put a link up here in the corner. We went through all the OEs, we went through all the OBs, picked two of our favorite from each lineup. There was a minor technical difficulty in the middle, but I don't think it affected the outcome that much because we ended up with two OEs and two OBs. We actually also in this blind, just to see how it might stack up, we have the Four Roses LE from 2023, the 135th anniversary bottle. It's in here in the blind with the two best OEs and OBs. I think Taylor actually has them down. A lot of these are actually in that recipe, which kind of makes sense if they're our favorites.
Yeah. We really enjoyed the 135th. So, just to go back through, we have OSBSV, OESK, OBSK, and OESQ. But a really fun fact, Chris, that within the 135th anniversary is OBSV, OESV, and OESQ. So 2 out of the 3, recipes are in the 135th anniversary bottle.
Yeah, that makes sense. We like that one. These are some of our favorites of the single barrel. So we'll see how they actually all stack up. If that doesn't finish first, I blame Taylor. So let's jump into it. Number one, this has all been mixed up. Taylor, what he did was he poured them and labeled on the bottom, and then after he left, I came in and I mixed them all up. So we do not know which is which, but let's jump in and see what they are and give our impressions. So first glass.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Maybe we picked the right one.
That smells good.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna say this almost in every one that smells good.
It smells great. I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, maybe in a previous video, but for me, Four Roses has been a distillery that I haven't really thought about. I never really knew which one to go for. I thought I knew which one to pick.
I think that has the full package.
Oh, God.
It has oak. It has spice. It is balanced. That's just a nice, well-rounded.
Wow, that is
bourbon
very
pour.
oaky.
I think it is probably the oakiest.
It is really oaky. Maybe a little too much.
I can see that maybe a little bit too much.
It's got a little tannic.
If you're not an oak person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd buy any of these 5. Any of these, earlier I would have bought them too, but 100%, these 5, I would buy, even backups probably of them if I saw them.
If I found a good single barrel of these, absolutely.
Yep. So I'm going to go on a limb. I think this might be the 135th anniversary.
I think you're going down a slippery slope. I thought the same thing, but I don't want to start assigning things a little too early.
Mess your bias up.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for going to number 2?
Absolutely.
I think I might like this one more.
Really sweet. Going between the B's and the E's, our preference going into this we thought was going to be the E's, but then it was really easy to pick out of those E's. The B's was what made it hard, the high rye. And really excited to see if that carries on to this.
I think I might like this one more. This has less of the tannin of the first one. This is much more honey forward, but it still has the oak, a little bit of spice.
I think it's got a big chunk of spice on that back end, and that keeps it lingering, right?
I think that might be better.
It's still sitting on my tongue.
I just like the honeyness. It's just a little more honey forward.
I don't know if you're gonna pick up on this or you get the same note as me, but I get like a honey or a wild honey. In South Carolina, we have a honey farm that does wildflower honey. Man, this is really similar when it comes to the sweetness. It's just so floral, the floral sweetness from this. I really thought it was gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Well, 3?
Yeah, we're going to 3.
Nope. Not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy.
That was also very honey forward.
I get a lot more oak than floral. It's like deeper, more, maybe say full-bodied.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the tannic.
It's definitely nothing has so far. 2 and 3 have nowhere near the tannic wood note, but that
makes me think the 135th is gonna lose.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it might lose.
It does have 25-year-old juice in it.
Maybe it's all about in the moment, but right now I'm enjoying the honey note a lot
sweetness
more
than the oak note.
than the oak note.
I think it's all about being balanced. So like having that sweetness to counteract the tannic note.
Yeah, that is so much caramel. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to definitely go back when we do the ABs in the back end.
Yep.
2 and 3.
Really focusing on these.
But that's good. Right now, I think 1's in the last place.
I don't wanna say it. Don't wanna believe it. You know, going off of color here, you really can't tell.
Oh, you can't tell.
You cannot tell.
I could not pick out which one's the 135th. All right, on number 4. This is like almost bubble gum.
This gives me cinnamon.
Almost like cotton candy.
I have a hard time getting past the cinnamon.
I'm not getting really any cinnamon at all. Yeah, for me, that's straight artificial sugar to me. That's so sweet. I don't remember getting that on any of the pours in the last couple rounds.
Yeah?
That have a sweetness. Like, it is bubblegum, artificial sugar to the max for me.
See, the only thing I actually get bubblegum off of is actually like a toasted wheater. Like a double barrel wheated bourbon. It's kind of interesting to hear that note come up here.
You're on number 5?
Yep.
All right, now we're back on the same territory. This is getting closer, for me at least.
All right, I'm flip-flopped because I get what you were talking about in the last one. This is very...
I'm getting a lot of cinnamon on this one.
I get a lot of oak on the nose. Didn't really translate to the palate. Individually, like going between these, it was within the first round we kind of had our initial guesses, but this one kind of made it.
I think I feel confident in my top 2.
Top 2.
Maybe 3.
I'm not.
3.
I have no place yet. I gotta keep working it.
This one to me is too cinnamon forward. Like I'm getting that same thing about earlier Ambrana. Like this is just I could almost guess this is Ambrana finished.
I kind of get that. I think it's the honey. I think that's that like darker, maybe a little bit darker honey mixed with that cinnamon note.
Yeah.
That gives you that Ambrana. I mean, it's nowhere near like a Rio
it's not
or
an actual Ambrana.
No.
I'm not saying it is Ambrana.
No. I think when we talk about Ambrana, I think we're more of the cinnamon dry portion rather than that really dark cinnamon toast crunch sweetness.
If you ever had Ambrana, you know when you have Ambrana. Like it's in your face.
Yeah.
Like out there. Most bourbons, like, it has the same notes, but it's subtle. Like it's just kind of under the layer. And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting those same notes, but it's just not in your face kind of notes.
This one's got a more floral complexion for me than the number 4. It's not a front runner, but it's got its place in this lineup. We know what's in this blind, but we have no idea what we're currently drinking. Really trying not to impart what I remember from the last couple blinds, but
I don't know if I can even link it up. You think
I could not place a guess on 2 through 5.
Do you think you could actually guess the recipes? I couldn't.
I don't think so.
I think I could pick the 1 through 5.
I think I
don't
could
think I picked the rest of them.
I think I could tell you the yeast strain or the high rye versus low rye.
Yeah, OB for E.
And then I think currently we were tracking on guessing the LE.
I think I could pick the LE.
Yeah.
I think outside that, I don't think I could.
I don't think I could tell you the individual yeast strains of any of these.
Yeah. We're going to go and A-B these off camera, again, to help shorten the content, to make this a little more viewer-friendly. But we're going to go back through, we're going to A-B all these to figure out our actual order, and we'll come back shortly. All right, we just finished A-Bing the different bottles here.
That was
glasses.
Tough. That was tough.
It was very hard. We did some blind, like re-blinding, to figure out where they might rank. I think we're fairly close. There's some mixes here, but I think across the board we're...
Yeah, I think generically we're there.
We'll go to 4 and 5 first. They're both flipped, but they're both 4 and 5, like at the end of the table. All right, so last place.
Last place for you.
Yeah, for me. 4th place for you.
Is, what number is that?
It's the one at the bottom.
Yep,
Yeah, that one.
Yep. It is number 5.
All right.
Number 5 is OBSV.
I'm surprised because I thought that would be the number 1. Be honest, I thought OBSV would have been first or second place.
I don't know. It was so cinnamony. I don't think it had a chance.
But I'm thinking about just recipe wise. Like that's one I've been hunting for a while.
Yeah.
I thought this recipe would have done a lot better.
It's so light. I think it's because it's a B. It's very light.
All right, on to my fourth place, which is your fifth place.
Is OESK.
Okay, a K came in. Okay.
Oh, kind of sad.
We had two Ks. Two
Yep.
Ks moved on, which was, I think, a big
Yeah.
deal. I don't have any Ks. Now I am 100% hunting Ks. Yeah, these two, they just didn't stack up for me compared to these three. I think these three were on a pedestal. These two kind of were off, if you could kind of segment it. But I would still hunt for it if I could find it.
I would. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of honey in that. I know you got a lot of bubble gum, but it really punched through with the cinnamon, that allspice. So if you really like those high rise, spicy type of notes, I think you would love it a lot. Ooh,
Hey, now we're on podium. This is where things get a little dicey.
it's a little sweating here.
Do we want to do my third or your third? Because I think your third is probably one that's gonna really upset people.
Yeah, I think we'll go with your third.
Okay, my third is second, number 2 glass.
OPSK.
Another K. Okay, so neither of the Ks went first place.
Nope.
Still a decent showing to have both K yeast strains in the top 5. I think
Yeah.
they did a really good job.
Which one was this?
Across
This
the
was-
board.
Okay.
That was last place. Was
You want to know a fun fact about last place? You can go to any liquor store and find a Old Forester single barrel, 100 proof, on the shelf. And I don't know, I'm surprised it came out here.
Yeah, I'm surprised it made top 5. Like, I guess they know what they're doing in there to make it their, flagship
Yeah.
of their single barrels. I will say, I think this might be better than the standard single barrels, but I think they know what they're doing by making this their recipe for the single barrel.
I think so too. I mean, they're 7 to 9 years old, but it really depends on what floor of the workhouse you get. So, I mean, each one's different, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that we did pick that mash bill.
This is my second place, your third place, which is glass number 1.
Glass number 1.
We both think it is the Four Roses 135th.
Yeah.
We'll see if we're right. Yeah, it's the
135th.
It had that complexness, it had the oak on it. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
It was I think that what caught us is the tannicness.
It was.
It was a little over the top for the Four Roses recipes.
For the finish, absolutely.
It's a great pour.
Oh, man. The nose is a bomb. Yeah, but that finish is just so tannic.
Yeah, the finish is what hurts it.
Yep.
If you get everything else about it is amazing. Finish is just, it's almost like a negative.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just how long it sticks on the palate. I understand like some of this is it's like 12 to 25 years old, and this blend goes a little bit sour right at the end for me.
Well, that means we know, at least you guys know what is number 1. Is the last bottle here.
OESQ.
OESQ. I don't think I have that. And
I
I'm
don't.
gonna have
I
on
don't
it.
own any E's, and
An E1?
an E1.
Oh.
It's such. I don't know.
Wow.
Shocker for me because
High rye mash bill. It's so good. This
man,
bottle.
It's an oak sweet bomb. It's got that fresh sweet oak finish.
Man. I could drink that for days. That is so good.
Besides the 135th, I could smell this all day. It's you pour me 1.5 ounces, good sized pour. I could sit there on a couch, smelling it, talking, drinking it. All of it has the same experience all the way through.
So it kind of makes sense for us. It says this is supposed to be banana forward. Be like Jack. Maybe that's what we're getting. I don't know. Medium body. I don't say that at all. It's definitely full
it's definitely
flavored.
full.
Refreshing. I don't
get
I
refreshing.
enjoy it. I don't know what refreshing means. But then floral, rose petal.
Man, it's so good.
That's so good.
It is so good.
That is so good. I think
I think I'd really have to taste it before I buy it. Even though we've been through all these different mash bills, I still think I need to try it before I buy it.
Well, the problem is most Four Roses single barrels, you
can't.
don't try it before you buy
Yep.
it. They're so allocated and hard to get. Like, they just show up in the store, you buy them instantly. Which is a shame because, as you know, there's a big difference between the recipes. I will say, if I see this recipe, I probably will buy it. just given how well it did tonight.
Yeah, I think any of these 4 I would buy. You know, just to reiterate, 2 out of the 3 recipes that go into the 135th are in this blind. I think this year, kind of tracking on something that we enjoyed so heavily, we're on a good track.
So that's our blind March Madness tournament we did for the NCAA tournament. We had an upset. An OE won. I think we would have thought OB would have knocked out even the Four Roses LE 135th. Number 1 seed, number 1 overall, actually did not win, but it was an OE recipe. I had a blast doing this. Definitely do blinds at home with your friends, family, because it really opens your eyes, takes out the bias, and we learned today that an OE recipe for us is the king. But until next time, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you check out this video or this one. And until next time, cheers.